playing football. I think we did not start the game very well. We did not show the sharpness that one expected. A lot of our key players were not up to it. Maybe fatigue, maybe stage. But we managed to get a goal, which we could have maybe dragged the game for longer. Just as I was telling them to be focused, here we are opening space for Ndonzo on his right foot, knowing that he can finish, and he took it well. And the second goal was also another elementary mistake from a centre-back passing into traffic when there's people free in the channels. And from there, we also got punished. But after those mistakes, I think we became stronger. The second half was very strong. We created a lot of chances in this game. In my opinion, I think we played well. Probably without our key players, because our key players on the day were not as sharp as we wanted. I don't think we benefited much from the midfield that we had today. But be that as it may, there were moments where they all showed interest, which resulted in the goal. The equalizer that we got from the middle was a very good goal. But after that, I think we just dominated the game. From there on, the second half, the last 15-20 minutes of the second half, we should have scored maybe one or two, if not three. In the extra time, I don't think I've ever seen a team creating so many chances in 15 minutes. But at the end of the day, they came with a strategy. They knew Arubi is very strong on penalties, and they came with a strategy to try and mitigate the pain and by making sure that they don't concede. Though I think that would backfire one day, because I think they really did not apply themselves. And the summary of it is that they are in the final. Not impressed with their football, but they are in the final. Impressed with my football and not in the final. That's football for me.
Colleagues, second hands.
My coach is Manqoba from Italy. We were speaking about a lot of chances and making the game towards the end of the match. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I think 3 or 2 times we hit the post, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, a lot of chances that we created in the extra time, especially with the goalkeeper saving blocks, a lot of blocks in the opposition box. Was there a time where you felt it's just one of those where you are unfortunate as a team on the game?
To be honest, I reached a stage when Dion header was saved by Arubi. I said, if this is not a goal as well, then I don't think this thing is gonna work out. But I was still optimistic that on what they think might be the strength of theirs, maybe that's where they might still even lose the game. Because for me, being that negative in a football match, hoping to win on penalties never really works sometimes. But it's the second time against Arubi, for me in particular, because I remember the game when I was still at Sundowns. We played Chakuma, we created chances after chances after chances, and we lost the game. I think it was the semi-final against Arubi, and because it's very good on penalties, you can never take that away. But the reality is that I did come to that conclusion that maybe this is not going to.
Lucas, I'm back on the last. Lucas, you speak about the stage. Ahead of this game, the pressure that the seen in the house, especially in this province. I would see Amatemba on the second ball. Local to feel maybe played a role in more which we were thinking about. How do you help them to recover from this? Because ours is informed and abantu abaningi besethi le ndebe ingabasiza ukuthi mhlawumbe iba-elevate ukuthi bacabange ngokunye okukhulu lokho abakutholayo nje.
Iqiniso ukuthi I can't be hard kulabafana labo because when we started the season, if you were to say you will be in the semi-final of the Kali knockout, they would have looked at you and said, hey, now the coach is training. So for them to be where they are, to me it's already positive because I did not anticipate that they will be where they are now, because my targets were to see this team probably after 15 matches in the league, because I hoped that's where a lot of things would have changed. And for them to do as good as they've done in some of the matches, I think they deserve to be given credit. Singing too harsh to them, because the reality is that this was a team that was on the other side of the league last season, and things were not looking good. So the strides they've made in such a short space of time should still be appreciated. Yes, it's a fact that most of them maybe have never even played a semi-final before. Maybe some of them were starstruck, more especially in our game against Pirates. I was surprised to see the level of anxiety and the mistakes we committed in that match. And I had this feeling that maybe, and I think the question is coming from where I also said, I'm not sure whether they'll be able to deal with the stage, the anxiety, because they've never been in the space. And for me, I'm trusting the process, because I can see a whole lot of positive things. And the mistakes that we commit defensively let the team down big time, because the 2 goals that we considered, I mean really, and you look at the 2 goals that we have scored, then you say, if we can keep 0 behind, we've got a chance of achieving more. And that is still work in progress. And I also feel bad that we did not have one of my best defenders in this game, because the concussion on Komara cost us probably the chance to get to the final, because he's been one of our best defenders this season. And for him not to be available for this match because of the concussion he got against TS Galaxy, to a certain extent, for a team that may not have as much depth in some positions, and we've got depth maybe in more offensive positions, maybe that also played its role, because the kind of mistakes we committed in the 2 goals were not even one defender, the lunges at least towards Jondo before he takes a shot, and he takes a shot in front of so many people in front of him. The 2nd goal, I know everybody will blame Manqoba and say, but why Manqoba was in that position? But the reality is that that was such an easy situation where you would not think the ball can be lost, because you've got Bonello on the outside free with no opponent, and you've got somebody coming inside with 3 opponents, and you decide to go for the one with 3 opponents. In that traffic, chances are that they will win the ball. And when they win the ball and the goalkeeper was ready to support you from the inside, the goalkeeper will look like he's stupid, he does not know what he's doing. But the reality is that you wouldn't expect to lose possession in that area without pressure, because if the ball is played to you and you've got pressure, then you release the ball without being aware whether you are sending it to traffic or what. It's a different story. But when you release the ball, when you could have just stood on the ball, because there's no one coming to you, and you concede a goal like that. The 2 goals for me are just football mistakes, you know. But the unfortunate thing is that such mistakes are not done by young players, you know. If you look at the boy that played as a right back today, he was playing his 2nd match in the league. In the PSL, and I think he had an outstanding performance. He hardly put his foot wrong up until he got tired, because he has never really played and gone this far. But the kind of mistakes, if you were to look at, unfortunately, are coming from sources that should be the ones who are guiding the youngsters to do that.
I'll take the last one after him.
Okay. Good. Hadla coach. It's big man from my side and Maron Sports. Going through actually watching the game, you could see that. Players, they seem to be holding too much on the ball. I don't know whether they want to dribble everyone before they can even release the ball. They were not even taking shots where it was necessary to take shots. You see, and on the other side, I think it was your right wing or your left winger. He had so much space, but it seemed as if they were not actually paying attention to him or giving him the ball. So I don't know. So can you just please enlighten us there? Probably it was a strategy or what?
To be honest, I don't think what you are saying is right. Because I think we created too many chances. And you should pride yourself by creating a lot of chances in a case like that, instead of just trying to blast the ball to opponents that are already centered in central positions. Because if you lose the ball in those positions, you are immediately inviting a counter-attack. We took a shot outside the box when the opening was there and we scored. But we got so much openings in the wide channels because they drop and center. Openings on the left, we even brought Theron on the right, and he got so many openings and he got balls into the box. When you score those chances, the opponents come out of the box. But when you don't take those chances, then you are going to start now sucking the finger and saying, hey, maybe we should have taken shots from range, maybe we should not have done this. But dribbling to try to create space is even better than taking a shot in a crowded area and it deflects and creates a counter-attack. And I think the dribbles got us to the end because Jobe also got a chance in front of the goalkeeper from a dribble. And instead of taking one more touch and finish away from the keeper, it took it straight to the keeper. And I cannot now want to say, because we did not win the match, maybe we should have done something else. Because the truth is, against a low block, it's very important to have maximum width, which we did. It's very important to be patient, which we did. It's very important to play in between the lines, which we did. It's very important to have dribblers in that area to eliminate and create something, which we did. And we have to take shots from range in outside the box. We have to take shots from outside the box to try and break them down if the openings appear, which we did, and we scored from it. So if now I say they did not do it, I think that would be very unfair.
Coach, from Post. Coach, you're very critical of the sort of game plan of the Manqoba Mngqithi towards the end of the game. With them being sort of negative. How do you then fancy? Well, with bearing that in mind, how do you fancy their chances against a very offensive Pirates come the 6th of December?
It's none of my business.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, colleagues.